Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and in this video, we're going to be talking about Dragonheir Silent Gods, which is a new gacha hero collector RPG game to hit the scene that lots of people are checking out. So in this video, I'm going to give you some quick beginner type tips to hopefully help you out as you begin your journey in Dragonheir. Let's get into it. And for this video, I am using BlueStacks to play Dragonheir. I'll have a link down below where you can try out Dragonheir completely free of charge with the BlueStacks program that enables you to do lots of cool things like set macros and replay stages and all sorts of amazing features like that. And it's also a free and easy way for you to support the channel and allow me to continue to produce videos like this for games that I enjoy trying out. But let's get into Dragonheir and go over these tips. Alrighty, so first of all, you definitely want to be doing your daily check-in every day, because on the third day, you're going to be getting an epic champion added to your roster, and you're going to get one of the better summoning dice on day 2. So even as you're getting started, if you're busy, if it's the weekend, if you're traveling, whatever the case may be, at least try and take a few seconds just to simply sign in and do your daily check-in, because you can be progressing these rewards and get that epic and the dice as fast as possible. Then as you dive in and you're kind of playing the game, you're getting through the main quest line and progressing that open world map. Up here on the top of the screen on the right side where there's this book, this journal type icon, you definitely want to click on this and follow through the first tab of your journal and go through these different chapter objectives, because not only will it help you learn the game and get some of the basics down, but it will get you journey XP so you can progress your main storyline as fast as possible. You're going to get bottlenecked at like level 10 and stuff like that, and it will say you can't proceed the main quest until you hit this level 10. Well, you're going to want to go through this journal and do all of these objectives to get the XP and learn the game and get some starter type resources. And a couple quick things about summoning in this game. So you've got the two different ways to kind of go about it mainly. You've got your Heliolite, which is the better version of summons, and then your Starlight Invocations, which is the purple, where you can get ideally the rares and the epics from. And if you click on the little eye up here on the top left, you can get a breakdown of the different probabilities and the guarantees and the mercy systems and all that. So on the purple version of the summons, you're going to be looking for epics out of those. And then ideally, you would at least get a rare, but you're 20% to get a rare and 3% to get an epic. Then on the Heliolite, the orange ones, you've got a 3% chance to get legendaries and then a 17% chance to get epics. Now, the interesting thing about these is they've got a mercy system that's pretty decent. It's only 35. So your 35th Heliolite summon is going to be a guaranteed legendary. And then over on the right side, you'll see how total summons, I'm 23 out of 80 for the Echoes of Otherworld. That means I'm going to get a guaranteed legendary at 35, a guaranteed legendary at 70, and then another one here at 80. So technically, if I pull 80 Heliolite summons within the first 25-30 days, I will get 3 legendaries added to my account guaranteed. But also, don't feel too bad if you're getting bad luck with your summoning and you're not getting a whole lot of epics or legendaries. Totally fine. There are some pretty good rares that can help you progress very efficiently. As long as you're playing and being active and paying attention to the different mechanics, you will be just fine as you're progressing through most of the game. And I've got 4 of the Starlight Invocations, so I'll show you what the summoning looks like, and we'll pull a few. So hopefully I will get an epic out of these 4 purple summons. Right there is a common. You can tell by the color of it kind of filling up the statue there. So we've got 4. Ideally, we should definitely get a rare, and then hopefully we get an epic. We've got 2 more to go here. We're looking for a blue or a purple as that statue fills up with color. And you can also wait, see there's a rare. You can also wait until you have 5 and you can pull them 5 at a time. There we go. Barrick's actually not that bad. I believe he's the one with the passive that gives him shield. Yep, there we have it, a passive with 40% chance to reduce the damage taken by 50% when hit. So I've been following this game for a while. I'm decently familiar with the roster. I've played a lot of the betas and test servers and stuff like that. So even though I'm starting out my main account, just like all of you, because the game just came out a couple days ago, I do have a decent amount of time here in the game and trying it out through all the different iterations of betas and stuff like that. So okay, come on now, let's give me an epic. I actually don't have a legendary yet on my main account, so there we go. Unfortunately, we got 3 commons and a rare, but I will be due to get an epic pretty soon here on the purple ones. And on my Heliolite, I am 23 in, so within 12 summons, I will get up to that 35, and within 12 of those dice, I will finally have a legendary on my account. And then there's a couple quick tips that you're going to want to know when it comes to the champions on your account and building your rosters out and stuff like that. So first of all, try out a bunch of different champions, level them up and spend your XP and build different rosters and synergies and try a bunch of different heroes out, because in your first week or so of playing the game, all you have to do is click on this event horn right here and then go to, however you say this word, Clepsydra Torrent or whatever, but you can click on this to select heroes and then simply check them and confirm and reset their XP, and then you can invest that XP into other heroes. You can see it says it ends in 2 days and 9 hours, so I've still got a couple days to really go ahead and just low risk try out a bunch of different rosters and champions and synergies so you can learn the game and figure out what's working best for you and how you want to play. Also, up in the top right, you can see this big purple icon, and that is going to be an elemental affinity. And these are going to change a little bit depending on the season and what's going on within Dragonheir. And it's going to change kind of a few times a year in terms of what elemental affinities are working with each other. So you can see up at the top right, we've got fire and poison right here. So if I have at least 3 heroes that are fire and poison in my active roster, I'm going to get those bonus stats you see up in the top right of attack, defense, and HP. You do also get a bonus for having 5 of both of the synergies of elements, but I would go early game at least try to get the 3. That's the important one that you want to get, and you can use your main starter hero. You can see here the Traveler Chosen Brad 22. That's my main starting hero here as you create your Dragonheir account, and you can go down here on the bottom right and switch the element. So if I've got a team where I'm using fire or whatever is going to synergize with it, I can mix and match here with 3 different elements to help me hit those elemental synergies based on the team that I'm trying out. So take advantage of switching your main character's element and then also resetting experience in the first week or so you can try out a bunch of different stuff. Also, a couple quick tips when it comes to early game PvP in the Grand Arena. When you enter the Grand Gladiator Arena early game, you may notice something interesting, and that is when you go to challenge somebody and fight, all of your champions down here are going to be the same level. You can see they're all level 50. So something you can do early game to take advantage of this is maybe focus a little bit on an account carry and get something up to the highest level you possibly can, and then that will flatten everything out up to that level so you can try out different synergies in PvP because it will bring them up to that level. Now, it won't give them all the same gear, and that is another tip you're going to want to make sure that you take note of, because the gear is going to be different in PvP compared to PvE. So a lot of times people will be using a champion they have built in PvE out of the open world, and that champion will be naked and wearing no gear here in PvP, which ends up screwing them over if they're a new player and they don't know to look for that. So when you slot a champion in, let's say I want to try a new champion because I see that they're level 50, I slot them in and maybe they have gear out there in the open world, but you can see that over on the right side they're not wearing a helm, a sword, chest, gloves, or anything. So you want to make sure and check your gear specifically in PvP and get as many stats as possible heading into a fight. And I'm not going to get into like a dedicated tons of PvP tips, but something quick to know: if you look at the enemy team that I'm facing over there on the right, you want to kind of avoid that in most situations where you've got everything clumped up, because they can barrage you with 2 or 3 different backline champions that do a bunch of fireballs and different AoE stuff. So sometimes it can be very beneficial to watch out for your positioning and maybe spread out a little bit, something, you know, a little bit more akin to this, or you can even go a little bit more spread depending on the team that you're facing and move things around, and just kind of depending on what is going to work best and the positioning, you can kind of get people to engage how you want them to based on moving them around in the battlefield and avoid some of those different splash damages hitting too many of your enemies and kind of lowering the enemy team's DPS so you can chew through them and survive a little bit quicker. And as long as you pick your fights properly early in the game and take advantage of your free rerolls on opponents, you should be able to get yourself into situations where you can do decently well in PvP early game, like we see right here. But then also, when a fight ends, you definitely want to click on the little graph icon and check into the stats, because what this is going to do is show you who's bringing value to the table, who's doing the large percentage of your damage, who's tanking, who's healing, and then you can see if someone is underperforming based on what you were expecting. You can try out a different champion in that slot, especially especially when you're new to the game, and you can go back and reset XP, put different gear on, try them out in PvE, PvP, and try to get yourself a roster that is really synergizing and outputting a lot of value. Also, even very early game, you do want to come in and refine your gear at least up to this level 8. And a quick tip, when you're going to refine something, you don't have to click over 8 times. You see over there on the right side, the bottom right, where I'm clicking through these different levels. You don't have to do that. You can just drag it and slide it over. So if I want to upgrade something to level 8, boom, I just drag and drop that to level 8 and then refine it. You definitely want to do this. It's a pretty cheap investment. You can see I've got 1.3 million, and it's only going to cost me 24K. Very worth it to get those extra stats early game as you're trying to be effective in PvP and also clear the PvE campaign map. And I guess I should probably pop into another fight and show you what I was talking about earlier in terms of the elemental synergies. If you look up at the top left of the screen, you'll see that little like flower icon with the 5 different sections, and then 3 out of 5 are lit up. That means I'm currently getting credit for the 3 hero elemental affinity, and then I'm getting these bonus stats on here. And if I fill up all 5 of them, I would get that extra bonus on top. So you want to just kind of glance up on the top left as you're moving champions around and trying out different things. You want to at least make sure you've got those 3 things lit up on the top left of your screen. Also, one of the champions that you're going to get very early in your journey on Dragonheir is this rare support in Hexandra, and she can be a very, very good progression type support even as a rare champion. Going to be cranking out a lot of heals to people when they are critical and need it, and then also going to be dispelling of debuffs and bringing tons of AoE heals in a big radius right there. So definitely a good champion to focus on as a rare if you're looking for a rare to invest some of those scrolls in and build and utilize as a synergy with some of the epics and stuff that you're acquiring. Hexandra is a really good choice. And I may do more in-depth, specific, mechanic, tier list type videos coming up soon here, but I did want to at least get a video out on the channel talking about some of these beginner type tips and things you're going to want to know as you get started embarking on your journey. So massive shout out to BlueStacks for sponsoring today's video, and I will have that link down below where you can try out the game completely free of charge on the BlueStacks program that allows you to take advantage of macros and all of the fun tools that they bring for playing Dragonheir Silent Gods. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you soon in the next video. Peace.